All right, this is part three of the Kleinkrieg battle. If you're coming to this one, part two, or part one was an intro. I kind of discussed some of the mechanics, um, and then part two was just more battle, talking about a few other things. We had some morale to do, and we had some casualties. But part three, gonna try and wrap this battle up in this third part, and try and keep it a little shorter this time. So we'll just get right into it. So for our first initiative, I think what we'll do, we'll just have the two commander heroes are going to keep swinging it out. So we're going to go ahead and roll for an initiative. And Austrian captain's going to swing first, so he's going to roll on a d10, and we need a 4 to do a combat check. Nope, he does not. All right. And 9, so the Ottoman hero passes his combat check, and he's going to have 4 attacks. So we will go ahead and do that, and he's going to need to hit. Heroes are always wounded on a 5. So we've got 1. All right, so the heroes have 3 total wounds, only multi-wound units or characters. He should be up to 2 because they were even, and because the Ottoman commander outdid him in this combat. He's going to have to do his morale, so he's going to test on, and they're both the heroes for this are going to be the same, so they're going to both be morale 4. So he's going to roll on his action dice for his morale saves. So 7. So he's going to stay in the combat, and they're just going to keep swinging until somebody has to fall back or has to die. So if let's say next round they're still fighting, Ottoman commander rolls a 3 on his morale, he's going to have to fall back. So all right. So the next initiative, what are we going to do? All right, I think the pikemen are going to try and activate, and I think we'll also have, and then I think the Ottomans are going to move the Janissaries. So, all right, so Janissaries are going to move, and then it's the pikemen's turn. So, all right, they're just going to move. Let's see, I think they're going to try and get in position to maybe do some shooting or something. I think they're just going to move up and back up these garrison musketeers. So they're just going to move there, swing there. That's the casualty count for the cavalry. All right. And then, all right, our pikemen, since they're under 50% in the unit, they're going to roll half their attacks. So it's just going to be they're going to hit on a 4. And I think I was making a mistake in the earlier combats. The Spanish pikemen are an elite, so they roll on a d8, and I think I made a mistake in that previous one. I had them rolling on a d6. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and do our combat check. 3, so they do not test successfully. All right, and next morale, since they're still in combat, the Ottoman cavalry is going to elect to go. So now, since they're locked in, they can just take that free move if they wanted to. And if you if you have units that are like that, you can take the free move, but you don't have to do it at the same time this unit is going. You can wait to do your free move. So they're going to take their free move, so that means they're going to go first. But then the Reiter, I think, are going to move to shoot at. They're going to try and move and shoot at the Ottoman cavalry. So, all right, well, don't need to roll because it's a free move. So, but the Spahi are going to attack first. They're down to 5, but they're not at 50% casualties, and they have, let's see, they have I think they should have 10 attacks, I think. Yes, 10 attacks. So let's get our dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And Spanish pikemen are elites, so they're going to be wounded on a 5 or better. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, normally, and I touched on this in part 2. Normally cavalry did not want to charge into pikemen, and so to represent that, even though this is like more of a skirmish situation, the pikemen get a +2 piercing when they do their wound or kill rolls. So they are, but the cavalry, and that's going to wipe these pikemen. So they are killed. So I got 4, and there's no armor saves, nothing like that. However, even though they wipe that unit, now the Reiter are going to go ahead and they're going to stay in a loose order, I think. And they're going to, they can caracole, so they're going to shoot first, and they've got pistols, so they've got, how many, so they only have 2 shooting dice, but they're caracole, so they can shoot and charge. So, now the Ottoman cavalry, I don't think I put it in my, yes, did I? I don't think I put it in my notes, but, Ottoman cavalry, I think when I work through the list, will have bows, because traditionally they did carry a bow. As you can, I've modeled them with lances, and I think one guy has a pistol. That was more 17th century, but we've got kind of 17th century models, so I could do that. But they've got pistols, so they're just going to roll 2 shooting dice. Not much, but that's, let's see, and they are just standard troops, so they're just going to test on a d6, so need to do a 5. Nope, but that's okay, because they're going to go ahead and they can move into a close combat. So they're going to draw their sabers, do a close combat, and they're going to do a close combat test. So they need to roll, and they're going to need to test on 4. So nope, they don't pass their close combat test. So but now they're locked in. So that section of the board is all tied up. And then over here, I think okay, they need to reload. So, sorry, you can't see that on camera. So these guys, I think, still need to reload. So they're tied up. And these guys also need to reload, so they're also tied up. And they can't fire because their line is blocked. And they also need to reload. So I think we're up to round 3 now. So that's the turn. And we're going to go to the next round. So these guys have reloaded, so they're all ready to go. And we've got 2 units locked up. So I think, okay, so the Ottomans are going to get, and I apologize, I've done this every video, I'm still like kind of thinking the rules out loud, so if you watch the whole series and you notice like inconsistencies as I'm doing the rulings, that's part of it. I'm just trying to test this out. So, all right. So over here, because the Austrians failed their roll, the Ottomans are going to get a free initiative to attack, but they're still going to have to roll their combat check. And who else is going to get a free? And then these guys are both locked up, so since the Ottoman won, he's going to get a free move. So what do we want to do here? I think Okay, I think the Ottomans are going to take their free move first, so they're going to try and attack. And all right, they're going to, okay, so they're going to need a test. So they're just a standard unit, so they're going to need to do a combat check, and that's a 2, so they fail their combat check. And then the Reiter are going to try and do an activate, and they're going to do their combat check, and they do not pass. So nothing there. So both units they're still just locked up in combat, but nobody's really been able to do anything yet. Okay, and then we'll do that over here. So Ottoman's going to do his free combat check first. So he's going to roll on the D10 because he's a hero. 6, so that goes through, and then he's going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 attacks. And let's see, what heroes need to be wounded on a 5, so that kills the garrison commander. And then now, if any Austrian German unit has to do a morale check, they're going to be at a minus. They're going to have to test at a 5 or better. So then we will have, who's going to go next? I think these two, let me move the camera. These two units are going to try and shoot at each other, so we'll see who gets to go first. So Austrians get to fire first, and they can fire with all of their shots. So 3 shots, and they get a +1 piercing. So Sekbon are wounded on a 4+. So they all rolled 3 1s, so no wounds, and now they're going to be reloading. And then Sekbon are going to try and fire. So go ahead and do their shooting check, and that will be a 5. Yep, so they do their shooting check, and they're going to be, let's see, a Imperialist Fortress troops are wounds on a 3, so okay, so because we got a +1 piercing, so we've got 3 additional casualties, so that's 1 base removed. Not quite 50%, so they're still able to fight as a unit, because we're at 8, because they're at 8 out of 12, and they're reloading. And then let's see who's going to test next. I think, let's see. Janissaries have not really done much this game. Let me zoom out real quick. Yeah, Janissaries have not really done much this game. So, all right, I think what we'll do is have these guys go ahead and try and make a shooting move, and these guys will just try and make them advance up. So that's a 3 and a 6, so Austrians get to move 5 inches because they're in a formation. think, actually, I think what the Austrians will do is wheel slightly this way, and they will try and fire at the Ottoman hero, and we'll see what happens with that. So, do their shooting check. Succeeds, and they're going to get 3 shots. Okay, so that's going to be +1 piercing, and heroes and any cavalry's wounds on a 5, so 3, and the Ottoman hero is killed as well. So big major victory for the Austrians, even though they're kind of stuck. But now these guys are going to go ahead and get to return fire. So since they're in skirmish formation, there's no flanks, or there's no facing. They can shoot in any direction, so they're going to do their shooting check, these Ottoman musketeers. So going to do on a 5. Yep, succeeds, and 3. And we've got 2 2 more wounds, so that's going to be 4, so that's another base removed there. But they're still able to fight because it's not they haven't gotten down to half strength yet. Okay. And then, all right, I think Ottomans okay, Janissaries are not going to do anything. And I think the only ones that haven't done anything yet are the Reiter this round. Okay, I apologize. Okay, I think they're just still locked in. And we have to put some counters down. So they fired, and they fired, and they fired. So that's all of them. And then I think. All right. So we're just going to go to the next round because I just forgot who moved over here. Okay, because this round will be a little easier because we've got these 2 units that are locked in. And then we've got everybody else is reloading. So yeah, okay. So over here, I think we're going to have to roll off for initiative. So we've got 2d6s, so we'll see who swings first in this combat. All right, so Ottomans just win by 1, so they're going to go ahead and roll their combat check on a 4. So they make it, and they are going to roll 10 attacks. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and all cavalry takes damage on 5s or better, and these guys don't have any piercing or anything, so they're just gonna be okay. So that's 3. So all right, so that's 1 base removed, and that's gonna be 1 additional casualty. So they're down to 3, and that's, let's see, we had 8, 3 out of. So it's 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, and we lost 3. Okay, so they still have 2, 4, 6. Oh, only 6. Okay, so they're down to 50%. So they have to test, and they're going to have to test with their action dice on a... They're going to need a 5 to stay in the combat. Nope. So they're going to retreat d6 inches. Oh, wrong dice. So 4. Okay. And then everybody else is reloading. Oh, well, the Janissaries need to move, and since there's nothing to test initiative off of, I think they're just going to forego that and just stay in position, because these guys can't move. And all right, we're going to go to the next round. So everybody's reloaded. And what I think the Austrians will elect to go first. I think they will... I think these Reiter will try and move away more, and the Spy are going to try and pursue them and attempt... Okay, they're going to try and ride up and capture these guys to take them as... to try and ransom them. Since they're riders, they might be nobility, but since this is the frontier, they might not be. Who knows? So let's see who gets to move first. Okay, Austrians, they're going to be able to make a full move. They're going to be able to move away, and they might be able to get away from the Turks. So they're going to move back here, back into the tree line. And again, they're not riding in a formation, so they don't have to worry about that because they're light cavalry. Now, the Spahi, I think, since they are heavier, let's see, they're moving 9, and they have to ride, and they have to stay in a formation because they are armed with lancers, or lances. And let's see, I think that's going to get them a little too close. I think for this game, I'm going to keep the engagement range at 2 inches. So they're going to have to stop there. I think I'll keep that at 2 inches. So they're going to have to stop there trying to pursue the guys trying to get away. Not quite successful with that. And next unit to test, I think, will be the... I think these guys are going to try and move in and maybe try and ransom the musketeers. So... let's see what happens. All right, and they're going to try and shoot. Okay, so we've got 2 and a 1. So they're going to be able to move in. And since they can move 7, so they're going to try and bludgeon these guys and take them captive. Now, what the Ottoman musketeers are going to have to do is roll a... let me look at my notes here real quick. Okay, they're going to have to roll a combat action. So, let's see. Let's do their check. And they're doing on a 4. 6. Okay, so these guys have been... they fought the melee, and they are taken captive. Oh, no, I take that back. Sorry. They actually can't do that because they're not at half strength. They're at 8 out of 12. So I take that back. Sorry, they can't do that. So, but they'll just do a normal combat action then. And so they're not going to get that many attacks. So they're just going to get 3 attacks because they're not really close combat specialists. And there's no piercing or anything. They're just going to be on 4. So 2. So they take out 2 more. And that will leave the... okay, now they're at half strength. So now they're going to have to do their test. These guys are going to have to do a morale test. Roll a 5. Nope, they fail, so they are at, they're going to have to fall back d6 inches, and that's their move for the rest of the turn. So let me roll that again because I didn't see what I rolled. I'll go ahead and use this dice. 4, okay. All right, I think what I'll do is wrap the battle up here. I think at this point the Ottomans have pretty much beaten back the ambush. The Austrians are retreating. Their captain's been killed, but they did kill the Ottoman captain, the Janissary officer. So it hasn't been a completely wasted day. And let me zoom in. Just get a look at the battlefield a little bit. Wait a second. Zoom out. There we go. So thanks for bearing with me if you've made it to this part of part 3. I know I think this was a little complicated, and I admit I'm kind of making things up on the fly as I go along. But again, if you guys are still with me watching, if you have any suggestions or anything to improve the game, this presentation I just kind of wanted to go through like the action dice mechanic and see how that worked. I think morale needs to be fine-tuned a little bit more, and I need to work out some more like clear shooting ranges, that sort of thing. I think I need to work on that capture mechanic a little bit more and make that a little easier to deal with. And then the initiative, I think one thing with that I need to deal with is like that, if you don't have even sides, even units per side, how to maybe deal with that situation. Because obviously you wouldn't always have like 3 units versus 3 units in any game. But anyway, I think I'll just wrap that up here. I think maybe we'll do, maybe in the next couple weeks after some more people have watched this video series, I might do like a stream to discuss it and talk about some other things. Janissaries didn't really do much. Who else didn't really do much? They were the only ones really. I think everybody else moved, and I think I did make a big mistake with the pikemen, giving them a d6 action dice instead of the 8 that they were supposed to have, because they were elites. So I think I might do something, reconfigure the forces a little bit, and see how that works next time. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to y'all in the next video.